Hello everybody, my name is Kanan Wolf and welcome to Home, a unique horror adventure game about a man who wakes up in a house that isn't his home. So, yeah, look at that. Our game will be saved automatically at certain points. That's good to know. Good stuff right there, isn't it? Let me put my phone right here. Your crash is nothing to be worried about. Okay. However, we recommend you put aside an hour and a half to complete Home in a single sitting, and an hour and a half we will attempt to do, because this is really late. Like, I got sidetracked so bad. Turn up the volume and turn off the lights. All that's checked off. All I remember at that point was finding myself alone. Oh, my head. Where was I? It was so dark. Hello? There was something by my feet. A flashlight. Hello? Oh, okay. Can I leave? No? What the hell is that? Part of my bed. What's this? It's a door. That house. Where was I? Oh. Like, I just left the room. Uh-oh. There was a body lying on the floor. Who was it? Was he dead? I didn't recognize his face. He was still kind of warm. I didn't recognize his face, but he was still kind of warm. Can we talk about it? This man's dead? He looks pretty dead to me, but... Hi, kitty. How you doing, baby? Okay, so we're going to the cellar. I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg? I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home seeing Rachel. Bruh, how do you realize that you're limping when you're going down the stairs? We just walked 1 into this room, 2 down the hallway, and examined the corpse. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs to try to find a way out. The shelf was full of books on local history and hunting. Seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. Indeed he did. Let's go in here. A black and white photo looked like the man upstairs and his wife. I guess there was no reason for me to keep this. Did I take it? No. I figured this was no help to me, so I left it behind. An old dining table covered in dirty dishes for 2 people. There were dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles among the dishes. The smell was turning my stomach. The hell is this? A thin gray mouse was stuck to the trap. It looked frantic but exhausted. Did I free it? Yes. That mouse is to come back and bite me in the ass. Watch. A collection of rusty tools. These look like they've seen a lot of use and were caked in damp smelling dirt. Why weren't they in the shed? Ooh, that looks like me. I found a picture of a couple. It looked like they'd been moved a lot. There seemed to be a switch behind it. Did I press the switch? Yes. It depressed smoothly into the wall. I heard a faraway click somewhere. There are scribbles on all kinds of random scraps of paper and notes about some kind of water tower. Did he mean the one by the old train yard? Oh. We're about to find out. I slipped the photo into my pocket. Maybe this will help me find some answers. Because that's what I wanted to do. I pressed the wrong button. I wanted to press circle. I didn't want to pick it up. I'm gonna go back upstairs. I'm gonna go upstairs. For some reason I feel more comfortable going upstairs. Like it's safer. Even though it's raining. Like there's a leak or something. The desk had a computer and some paper on it. A single drawer. I didn't want to snoop, but did I open the drawer? Yes, because we gotta figure out the hell we are. Receipts, pens, and a blurry photo look like a store of some kind. Why did this look so familiar? Uh-oh. Blood on the wall. It smelled flesh. It smelled flesh. Oh my goodness. And it smelled fresh and sickening. I realized there was blood on my shoes and pants. Oh man. I had to get out of there. Can I run? Man's face looked at the man in the photo I found. Yeah, it's because you killed him, probably. Oh, okay, I can point upwards. Okay, bet. I don't know if it's gonna mean anything, but... got a leak here going on. Someone needs to get that fixed. If that man died in the hallway, what was the blood doing there? It's cause that's where you killed him and you dragged his ass in there, my guy. That's what happened. That's just somebody else's blood. Okay, I'm just gonna go downstairs. Like we've already been here. I looked like hell. My clothes were dirty and torn, and there was mud caked all over my shoes. The bathroom was spotless. Everything had been wiped to a sheen. I wonder if it was the man's wife who did the cleaning or him. There's a photo development tray lying on the floor. Some leftover negatives were sticking out, but they were pretty blurry. I thought I saw what looked to be a treetop. What looked to be treetops. Let's go back to the bathroom quickly. What if we examine again? It seemed odd that the tray had been left there, considering how clean the rest of the bathroom was. Okay. Let's go this way. Oh my goodness. The door got me. The door was taped and seemed to be stuck, but the smell, I guess it led to the kitchen. The switch in the wall appeared to have unlocked the door. The box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had obviously been moved before. Maybe I found a way out. I must have moved it, right? Yeah. I heaved the box forward, and it finally gave. There's a ladder going on the ground. Where the box was, a dark smell rose from the passage. Did I climb down the ladder? Yes. I looked again at the photo I found in the house. The couple looked distant. That they didn't want to be in the same photo or picture. I wonder where the wife was. My leg was in terrible shape, but I had to get out. Those boxes would have allowed me to climb up the ladder again, but I didn't want to go back up there. Not with the body, not with that body, all that blood. Okay. I knew I had to look around. Footprints in the dirt looked like more than one kind, and a lot of traffic. Places all over were marked on the old map of town. The industrial areas near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near the old rail station. Newspaper clippings from the local paper. They were all about the murders in the town over the last few years. Wait, they were photos. Photos of our house. What the hell was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more, try to find some kind of information. A work table covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hate guns. I didn't take it, did I? Yeah, protection. I took the small handgun in my pocket. Its weight was somehow reassuring. Bro, why am I going deeper down? It was so dark down there. The air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? Why the hell why are we going like 2 stories under? The desk looked old and was caked with grime. On a stack of old faded papers covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out and illegible. Notes were written beside them in a faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. Here, V.A. help. I was thinking, I was going to say, heavy honey help Ralph. Now it made any sense to me. If I gave up now, I would remember what If I gave up now, I would remember what I had seen so far in these tunnels. No. There looked to be bones half dug into the ground, and the remains looked old. The faded clothes that stuck up among the dirt looked familiar. They looked like the clothes that the woman was wearing in the photo I found. Was this the man's wife? I wonder what I would have found had I dug deeper. Some kind of homemade rack, slung together with poorly cut wood and rope. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use it, did they? Oh yeah, they probably killed the wife. That's probably what they used. They probably tortured the poor lady. Cruelly made shelves. They looked like they were holding cans of some kind of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. It looked like a cage. It was small, but there was something coating the bottom, something wet. That place was getting worse all the time. I knew I had to keep moving. Now I'm 3 floors underground. Okay. Some kind of old boxes. They look like they were years old. Wait a minute. These boxes had old clothing in them. Clothes I remember throwing out after Rachel and I moved into town. What the hell were they doing there? What the hell were they doing there? There wasn't anyone there. I was hearing things. What? I remembered noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. I don't remember if I jumped down there or if I found another way. It looked to be a long way down. Did I jump down? No. Maybe there's some other way to get down without risking any more injury to my leg. There's a rope hanging there. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take it? Yes. Maybe that rope made the broken ladder easier to descend. Hope now must be so used. Bro. That's not creepy at all. The rope I found would have let me climb down the broken ladder safely. Did I climb down? Yes. It probably snapped. Oh. I could hear a faint hum, and the smell from before started to get worse. I just already guy upstairs, one. There's already 3 dead guys, 3 corpses already. A 4th one because I doubt we're not gonna find another one here. A bunch of old newspapers, wheat pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared on it. Keep out danger due to cave-in. Did I care? Not at all. This is different. Friend, this is different indeed. This is different indeed. It's already started me once with door slamming shut. I could still feel a faint impression on the rope I had slid down. As I pressed against the door, the heavy metal door. It was probably for the best that I hadn't jumped. The ache in my leg was bad enough as it was. If I could have, though, I would have ran straight out of those awful tunnels. Who would keep such a place? That's what I'm saying. What 3 floors down? At least I thought I had found that handgun. It seemed to work, and from the smell of it, it has already been used. I kept the gun in my pocket. It seemed a familiar weight there. An exposed ventilation shaft. Maybe someone crawled through there. But it was so high up that it must have been a sore landing. Oh yeah, hell of a fall. What'd you do? Unless you're talking about you the killer, then maybe you should turn yourself in really quickly. There was dirt on the ground. It looked wet, and there was grass smeared within it. Odd. There was similar dirt on my own shoes. Ooh, we got a ladder going up. Bro, bats. This year? Should we go up or should we go? Let's go to the right. Let's go through this door. I could hear a faint ticking sound like water. What was that sound? The exit. A kitchen knife covered in drying blood. Thinking about it made me sick. I didn't even want to touch it. Did I take the knife? Bats. You gotta get a big buck, friend. You gotta get a big boy when you go hunting this year. I'm taking a knife. I slipped the knife in my boot since I had the gun in my pocket. Did I really need all this? Yeah, because I think I'm the murderer, so I'm taking I'm taking everything that could, indicate that I'm the person. Point fingers at me. The door was locked. There was a musty smell from inside. I wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked. Well, I'm the wrong person to ask. I wasn't sure about these valves. I'm not sure what these valves were for. Did I turn it anyways? Hell yeah! Hell yeah! 'Cause I don't give a damn. This probably... Okay. I don't think that one did anything. Personally, but you know what? It's okay. Okay, so... The door is locked. There was this musty smell inside. Through the dust I could see handprints from the previous use. Probably from whoever worked in these sewers. How the hell did I get into the sewers? Whatever these valves did, this one isn't pumping water anymore. Uh-oh. I think I broke it. Whatever these valves did, this one isn't pumping water anymore. Okay. Yes. We'll keep turning it. Okay, so it's done. This one isn't pumping water anymore. This was not pumping water anymore. Guys, oh, I'm gonna look up quickly. Okay. I'm gonna assume we did whatever we had to do with those things. And all is well now. The door is still locked though. Whatever. We'll go upstairs then. Ooh, I didn't even know there was water in here. Turning those valves must have drained the water that was in this room. There was a ladder I could reach. It looked like the water drained out of the grate in the wall. There was a small metal key left floating in the shallow pool of rancid water. Did I take it? Yes. I pocketed a small key, but it was so oddly shaped, I have no idea what it might open. It opens the door to my heart, my friend. The safety poster had definitely seen better days. How old was that facility? The door is locked. I could see a faint light within. But seeing them go up the ladder, I don't give a damn, I guess. Yeah, more or less, yes. I love how it's told. It's told in a unique way where you're like, if you go to grab something, and the guy says it's like, did I do this? It's really unique, unique perspective. I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it personally. Like, it's unique. Oh no, there's a third. Wait, what? There's a fourth corpse. I found her dead body. A sewer worker, by the wounds all over his face and body. I figured he'd been stabbed repeatedly. There was a key ring sticking out of the man's pocket that I'd taken. Yes, I thought about the knife I had found with disgust as I carefully picked up the keys from his pocket. I was almost worried he was going to grab me. I was feeling even more sick from seeing another dead man. I didn't want to get any more blood on my clothes. Uh-oh. There's a security camera in the room. There must have been a way to see what happened. I got a feeling I'm the killer. It's just building straight towards it. I could smell a hint of fresh air here. I was anxious to leave, but couldn't help but wonder what that key unlocked. Buddy, I don't give a damn about that key. We gotta get out of here. The awkward weight of the gun and the knife made the climb even more arduous. Would I need that gun or that knife on my way home? Or was I a fool for picking them up? I wonder what was in that locked room I passed. Should I have gone check it out? Perhaps it didn't matter. I was so eager to escape, I almost bruised my hand forcing the latch at the top of the ladder open. As I lifted the heavy lid above me frantically, the smell of that sewer gave way to the dank scent of pine trees. I don't know if I'm going right. Wait. An old ladder leading up to the ancient water tower. The ladder needs to be extended so I can climb it. Did I extend the ladder? I popped the latch and brought the ladder down. I tried the little key I had fished out of the murky water, the murky puddle in the sewers. It fit, and I heaved open the rusty door. I should have went up. The wind was picking up a bit, and the night air had become strangely chilly. I'm going up quickly. I know that man's curious about that door that was locked, but the key went to that, so. In a patch of smeared dirt and grass, there was a beat-up old wallet. I thought it was mine. Did I take it? I did. I slid the filthy wallet into my back pocket. I noticed it didn't contain any kind of gun permit. In fact, it didn't contain any cards or ID of any kind. I thought I should recover my credit cards and the driver's license at least. Did I put this up here, or was someone else carrying it? The world may never know. From the rail I could see over the woods and down to the entrance of the sewers. Had I come through there before? If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. And we cannot have that. Alright, let's get out of here. Now, what if I keep going straight? Is there anything over here? A door. This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned in that map I seen. Whoever was poking around in these tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place. But I couldn't make them out. Here the sign pointed at various campsites and walking paths within the woods. It mentioned a river and maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to see. Trampled into the dirt and grass with a plastic card of some kind. I brushed off and was surprised to see it was one of my credit cards. I wasn't sure if it was still usable, but it was mine. Did I take back my credit card? Hell yeah, you did. I pocketed a credit card. Hopefully I can find my driver's license too. Through the fence, I could see a dilapidated outbuilding. I wonder if I could find my way around. You could by going this way, but you know. Okay, there's a big boulder in the way. Control vibrating, caught me off guard. There's a fire pit there. It was still a little warm. It was still a bit warm, and a few embers still burned at the bottom. 2 folded camp chairs were on the ground. One was knocked over. There was a couple of cans of beer spilled on the ground. A cheap dome tent slept 2 people. I shone my flashlight inside and could see some bedrolls, 2 backpacks, and a cooler. I felt like if I kept rooting through the campsite, someone would walk in on me. Hey, yeah, we don't want to be creep. The hell is this? No. Don't. No. Don't something. Don't do it. The Grammy sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. A musty wooden plank popped the stall door. It didn't really seem useful. Did I bother taking it? Yes. I wasn't sure why, but I took the plank. It'll be useful. Mark my words. It'll be useful. So he jumps out. I'm gonna clap him. I'm gonna clock him with a board. The sound was the same as the first one I had seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. I had finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I never wanted to return there. Finding that campsite had been strangely unsettling. I couldn't imagine why anyone would want to abandon their site. In the middle of the night, especially in that dark forest, I was relieved, at least, to finally be out of there. Even now, as I peered through the dense trees, I could see the cracks of light and a bit of the land beyond. I must have been getting close to town, but where exactly was I? You're in no man's land, my friend. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto part factory where I had worked as a machinist for all these years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago. Now times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. Oh my god, another corpse. I found a body of a security guard just doing his job, no doubt. His face was covered with blood from some kind of head wound. I wonder, was this flashlight his? Dug into the ground was a cracked old watch. First my wallet and now this. Did I retrieve my watch? Yes. The watch was useless, but I put it on my wrist anyways. I wish I could remember. Why was all my stuff missing? I saw the blunt wound on the guard's head. That looked like it was and looked at the flashlight I was carrying. Oh no, please, God. One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. There's a large power box with 5 lights on it, cables bursting out of the box, snaking off into other parts of the factory. The metal was starting to wear, and cobwebs had collected on the corners. The box hadn't received power. The door was locked tight, seemed to be connected to the power box beside it. The door is locked. Oh, okay. It's different than the other one. The door was locked, and there was a little electrical box under the handle. A sign was pasted to the front of the door. Danger, closed for repairs. So I go upstairs. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotten. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. The bulletin contained yellow clippings of newspaper cartoons, and I noticed there were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. That's all the details we're gonna get. A power panel looked to be shut off. Did I push the switch? The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped inside, but it was scratched out and the face was unrecognizable. That woman's photo. I knew I had to get back to Rachel to find out what happened. Bro, you killed her, probably. Power panel looked to be shut off. I press it. CD working again. It was shut tight. There was a rusty looking card slot on the side. Alright. Our old break table. The layers of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. As I ascended. It's boarded up. The door has been hastily boarded up. This is Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked there. Another pound I hoped could help me get the power back on. Did I press the switch? A utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. The locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? Yes. I slipped the card into my pocket. And our panel hope they can use power. Yes. Oh. The power panel still wasn't working. Did I try again? Yes. What? Okay. And our panel hope. Did I press it? Yes. Yes. Great, this is working. Okay. So I can't do nothing else with that. I was just curious to see what would happen. I struck with the hammer. The old wooden boards came apart easily. After I removed the planks, I left the hammer on the floor. But you should have probably took it with you. There's a mess of empty booze bottles. I wonder if that man at the house had something to do with this. He sure had a lot of alcohol at his place. This was my locker. There in the factory. It stank of booze. There was a picture of Rachel on the inside. It looked like it had been torn up. I thought I had taken that picture home when the factory closed. Okay, so where's that door? I think the door's over here. The one with the card reader. Yes. The key card I found seemed like it would pass through this reader. Did I use the key card? Yes. I slid the card through the old reader and turned the handle. Okay. There was some kind of ventilation hatch there. It looked like I jumped to the room below. My leg hurt enough as it was, but I couldn't see an option to jump. Oh man, my leg hurts like hell. My leg hurt like hell. There's a crumpled up letter on the floor. It had been scratched out heavily and was hard for me to make out. Did I try to read the letter? Yes. Most of the letter was violently scratched out with what looked to be a ballpoint pen. All I could make out was, need to. Just don't. Drink, need, Norman. Who was Norman writing to? Are we sure? I stepped out of the factory, glad to be rid it. Let me retry that again. I stepped out of the factory, glad to be rid of its smell and its memories. I couldn't stop thinking about that room with the bottles in it. Was that guard I found outside really drinking up in there? What about Norman? And who had rooted through all those lockers? I couldn't tell where I was as I looked around, but I figured I need to get to the road to get my bearings. Maybe Norman could help. His store wasn't that far from the turnoff to to the factory, if I remember correctly. Maybe I should turn the power back on. Looks like we're on Route 60 or something. Boulder. A door. The garbage bin was disgusting mess of rotten food and slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it back? I did. I cleaned the card off as best I could. It looked pretty beaten up. I was amazed that I found my credit card, and now this. I tucked the card in my wallet next to my credit card. Sounded like it was gonna rain again. Start raining again. Oh great. I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet except for a faint sound of a television. The entrance to the front of the store was locked from the inside. It looked like I could just pop it open. It looked like I couldn't just pop it open. It needed a key. There was a bit of blood in the keyhole. Let's go this way, I guess. What the hell? One of Rachel's old autumn coats hung on a rack. Was that Norman's bedroom? Wait, that was Norman's bedroom, wasn't it? What was this doing there? Ooh, we're telling a story in reverse. Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't even think were legal here. One of the slots on the rack were empty. The gun I had found seemed to match the others there. If the handgun was Norman's, what the hell was he doing with it? The gun would have fit there. Did I place it back in the cabinet? Yes. I carefully pushed the piece back into the piece back in place, and felt a great burden lifted. Blood. What was this? It looked like a pull chain hanging from the ceiling. I wonder where it led. Did I pull the chain? Yes. I gave the chain a single tug, and a simple folding ladder to the attic popped down. Norman. Oh no! I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my co-worker and one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been shot trying to get up. His eyes were wide with shock, though they were already drying. Norman, what was Rachel doing here? Why'd you have her coat? Norman, maybe you deserved better. You probably did. Did I close his eyes? Yes. I closed his eyelids down, shuddering as I did. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give him peace, or if I just couldn't stand to think anymore about what was going on. You know, we should go to the attic quickly. I guess this is Norman's kitchen. He kept it clean enough, but there were water rings from two of the cups still there in the wood. Looking up now, I would remember what I'd seen so far in Norman's place. No, I was just curious what it said. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? Yes. I found a hairpin among the rotten food and trash and pocketed it. Okay, so we gotta go up to the attic. That's probably where we're gonna get the key at. The TV still flickered with some random channel. I couldn't make up what was on the screen, but that glow gave me the chills. I hope to hell Rachel had nothing to do with that mess. No, Fred, I think you did. I'm just waiting to find Rachel. Unless Rachel's at the house. There's a large cardboard box that hadn't been sealed. Did I open it? I opened the old cardboard box and wasn't entirely surprised by what I saw. There were more Rachel's things. More of my wife's clothing. Photos, shoes, even that old radio I gave her. Why, Rachel? What were you doing here with Norman? I just couldn't believe it. My head ached with everything that was running through it. Man, friend, I think she left you. I think she left. And you snapped. And in your fit of rage, you killed Rachel. Norman, what were you doing with all these? He was a gun collector, friend. I used a hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we need anything. The register was mostly empty, and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. The icebox seemed to have been unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted, like the wonderful ice cream that was in there. There are various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. It looked to be in much better shape then. It's been weeks since I last seen Norman, and finding him that way still left me cold. Thinking of him slumped against that chair only cemented my reassurance on getting rid of that gun. It looked like someone had taken that piece from his store, but why was it in those tunnels? As I stepped outside, I recalled the old dusty box of clothes in Norman's attic. It felt like I'd only discovered more questions, no answers. But I was close to home. It was time to find out the truth. What if I keep going? Okay, so there's like multiple doors we can go through. But the question is, does it matter what door I go through? It was locked. This wasn't the right gate. Okay, it does. It was locked tight. This was my house. Okay, I can't just kick it in. It's probably the last door. Oh no, it's the second to last door. The gate was locked tight. This wasn't my house. The neighborhood's local post box. A letter was sticking out of it as if someone hasn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? Yes. The envelope was addressed to Norman. There was no return address, but the handwriting looked familiar. I took a deep breath and tore open the package. Norman, I'm sending this to you in a letter because I'm afraid to tell you this in person. What we did, well, it was wrong. My husband isn't an easy man to be with, but he is my husband and your friend. I need some time to sort this out away from the both of you. I'm going away for a while. I'm going to tell him, Norman, so don't you think you can hold that against me. Maybe we'll work it out. I'm not sure I even want to, but he deserves that much. Goodbye. I don't know what to think. My mind's racing. My heart's pounding. I had to get home. I just had to. Wrong gate. I'm gonna find my wife. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. I never fixed this gate. It was stuck. I need to press on. There was no turning back at that point. But now, I actually wanted to go back to see if that was blood or something. I seen something as I pressed on the door. Like, it looked like blood. I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside, but I did anyways. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch by the door. The power was off. I remembered having breakfast here, on this very table. Was that yesterday or sometime before? There's a small pile of mail on the floor in front of the mail slot. How long have I been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked this up? Most of the contents were bills. There was a credit card bill in there. Did I open it? I ripped the bill open and read it. To my surprise, it said something about canceling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? The front door was locked from the inside. I couldn't go out, though. I needed to see if Rachel was here. Oh, I think she's here, friend. I think we already know the answer. The door to the basement was locked. Where had I put the damn key? Alright, see that he's walking up faster now. The door was stuck shut. There's an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Leads up to the attic. That's where we'll find her. I found the last missing piece in my wallet. The old photo of Rachel, and I stared back at me, reminding me a better time. The old photo of Rachel, and I stared back at me. I think I should say it stared back at me, reminding me of better times. It didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyways? Yes. I replaced the photo in my wallet, feeling like I had got a part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Why had I thrown it away? Our television I had purchased before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterwards, but by then it was too late. Rachel was pretty angry about that, I realized. I wonder why. Though you can't predict stuff like that, you know what I mean? You can't predict that stuff. Let's go to the store. The books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey, now that I looked more closely, it looked like the man in the house. It looked like the man in that house had some of the same books as I did. My wife's, Rachel's suitcase was sitting on the bed. It was closed, but I had a feeling what was in it. Did I open it? Yes. Rachel's suitcase contained clothes, toiletries, and a train ticket. Is this what you were going to do with Norman? Rachel, why? Were you really gonna run away with Norman? Was I really such a monster? Was I really that hard to live with? Uh-oh. Our hallway mirror has been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. Our sink, which needed to be replaced, one of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't got around to fixing it yet. We were lucky enough to get a house of one of those wonderful old clawfoot bathtubs. The old house was charming for sure, but it wasn't always easy. My laptop has been left on and only had a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key at the top. There was a key at the top of my drawer. In the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yes. I pocketed the key. The key's to go in the basement. Watch. Yeah. Goes down to the basement. Unlock the basement door. There were old Christmas decorations in the box. I couldn't even remember our last Christmas. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key here. Did I take the key? Yes. I took the small key and tried to remember what was unlocked. There were old clothes, tools, and other things we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. I had put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck and the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough. Too much junk. Okay, so we gotta find something heavy-ish. There's a clean I've been using time recently. I don't get it. I still got that board. Oh, the Grammy key I found in the basement unlocked the door. Okay. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did someone break in here? There's an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? Yes, to get in the basement. I lifted a heavy crowbar. I appreciate its weight. By the looks of it, the crowbar had broken a few things. Oh yeah. A few bones, a few windows. Okay, so now I can break into that room. Which I'd still say it's going to contain Rachel. Rachel's in this house somewhere. Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? Yes. With a heavy heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole long enough to step inside. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down there? Was she okay? Don't look. Don't look. A filthy looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful, and it made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what lied within, but I knew I had to. I'd come this far. After all the searching, after all I had seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? Yes. Oh no. My hands trembled as I pulled back the layers of cloth. There at the center, under all the dirt and mess, was my beloved, my Rachel. Her arms were bruised all over, slashed repeatedly. Her clothes were ripped and torn, and even through all that sickening blood, it was obvious she had been beaten. She had been stabbed to death. The knife I carried all this way suddenly seemed like a poison. What had happened, Rachel? Who did this to you? I thought about all I had seen and wondered if any of it could help me figure out who had done this. And when I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away on shaking legs and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly exhausted from my journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. Maybe I would use some of Rachel's traveling books and find some place to go. It was my wallet, with its contents intact. Either I dropped that stuff or someone else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again. Or maybe someone stole it from me. Norman's store? That Ford's? The water tower? Was I at those places before? Yes. I didn't see how it could I didn't see how it could have happened any other way. I must have been the one to lose my wallet and its contents. What does that mean? Does that make me a murderer? There's an old photo of the other man and his wife. I assumed I found that in the house. I recall those faded remains I had found deep underneath his house. What had he done there? Well, did I think? Was that man involved in the whole mess somehow? Definitely. Those tunnels, those odd tools in his house, and the remains of his wife. He wasn't innocent, that's for sure. Honestly, I probably did it. This guy probably did it. This letter I take it from the post. From the post box. Rachel, were you really having an affair with Norman? But why? I didn't think things were that bad. In the letter, Rachel seemed concerned. She almost worried of what Norman might do. Did he do that to Rachel? No. Norman may have betrayed me, but I didn't think he was capable of that. I hated him. I hated him so much. I couldn't blame him for what happened to my wife. From now on, I'd have no one to get angry with me for stupid things like buying this TV. Now where? Basement. Not basement, downstairs. Yeah, how long had Rachel been laying in the basement for? Clearly, not until I thought about this more. I need some answers. There will be no more dinners here. No more chit-chat over breakfast, at least not for us. I must have locked the door. There was no reason to return to the backyard anyways. Go back downstairs to talk to Rachel. I couldn't go back down there. Not until I'd gone over everything. I need to make sure I was perfectly clear. My old office safe sat on the floor. I used to keep tax records and other important documents in there. I used a digital passcode lock, but I didn't have the code. Maybe I left it somewhere. Okay, buddy. You probably did. But that's kind of reckless to leave your codes around, just laying around. Just thinking about things like that made me sick with grief. I didn't know what to think. I just want to put this whole mess behind me. A lot of people died over this affair. Literally. There's a keycard I found at the factory, the one that allowed me to slip through that door. It seemed to me that it's probably Norman's, but if that was true, what was he doing back at the plant? Did I think Norman was going back to the factory? Yes. It must have been him. He must have been using that old locker. The laptop was dead, but I found some notes and loose paper in a drawer where I found a key. There was a yellow sticky note with an 8-digit code. Yes. I don't know what kind of phrase that was. But you know. Whatever. As long as I get in that safe. Access it there. Try to open it, yes. The code worked. I pulled open a small safe door and peered inside. There's a photo in there of Rachel and I when we first moved to this town. We were smiling outside the front of the house, which looked like a real mess. We looked happy though. Odd. I couldn't remember who took that photo. Inside the safe was also an envelope. The front of it read, "Do not open it until I tell you." I guess this was as good of a time as any to see what was inside. Did I open the envelope and read what was inside? Yes. I tore open the envelope and removed the yellow lined paper inside. On the letter written in handwriting looked familiar. The letter read, "I know this whole event had probably been pretty difficult. You can't imagine how hard it's been for me too. Well, maybe you can. That isn't meant to be an excuse, but well, I hope you can better understand why I've done what I done. Moving to this town seemed like such a dream. A quiet place to get established, to live out our lives, and to be together. But you know as well as I do that things quickly changed. Your drinking was one thing, but as you grew more distant, as you retreated into that world of yours, well, it was clear you didn't need me as much. In fact, maybe you never needed me at all. But it took all this to make you realize. In the end, though, you may never forgive me for this. You may never forgive yourself, but this is probably for the best. You'll be healthier for this. I'm just sorry it had to happen this way, Rachel." Wow. That got heavy. This whole game's got heavy. Like, it started getting heavy as I started piecing together that we killed Rachel. And that just made it even heavier. It seemed like I'd seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back to the basement. Maybe there wouldn't be anything for me to find, but I had to take one last look. If I was guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it. I picked up the knife. I took the knife and kept it firmly in hand. I need to put an end to this situation one way or another. And going and seeing Rachel was not what needed to be done. Can I leave? Is that will really be over? No. I peered at the knife and turned away. A warm place I had thought. Where could that be? I'm going to the bathroom. Where's our bathroom at? Yo, shit left. Didn't think so. I'll put this whole mess behind me. No matter what, I need some kind of escape. There, that was decided. The reflection on that grimy glass was only a shadow, a whisper. The old clawfoot bathtub hadn't been cleaned nearly enough, still it would probably do. If I wanted to, I could use that knife and finally end this. The question was, did I think I deserved it? Did I? Was this my fault? Did I deserve to die? Ooh. 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 Yes. Living in this town hadn't been easy. The plant had helped me in some way to stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. I had MRIs and piles of doctor's reports, but nothing seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swear, I had tried to give it up. I know it. The sleepwalking never really went away, though. But I know Rachel had tried. I know she had tried. She tried to be there for me, even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed terrible truths, but I knew it was the final act of a long-standing horror I've been living. Waking up in that house tonight was the final cruelty. I wish I had remained unconscious in that room forever. It was obvious to me that the man I had found in that house had something to do with all this. Could he have killed Rachel? It started to seem that there were too many things I had seen to think otherwise. And what was hidden within those sewers I'd found? The tunnel to the man's house obviously led there, but there was something missing. I'd found the contents of my wallet scattered throughout town. Why the hell had it been there? Had my sleepwalking gone to some new extreme? The thought that I couldn't account for my whereabouts. I knew I had been to that forest and even Norman's place. Well, it was terrifying. I didn't know what that meant. But at least I had recovered my things, hopefully. I thought that would cover my tracks so I wouldn't be blamed for all this. The tangled mess of that horrible forest was an experience I never wanted to repeat. It was clear at least that Norman had been going back to the plant. Maybe he was the one who boarded up the locker room, who had been drinking up there in that secret hiding place. So he had to kill that guard then. He must have. Maybe he was found out, or the guard caught him on patrol. Damn it, Norman, why? After the factory, I thought I'd find some solace if I just get to Norman's store. But all I had found there was more horrors and more questions. Now that I really consider it, that's when I should have seen it coming. Norman, what were you and Rachel really up to? What were you and Rachel up to? It was obvious things were more complicated than I'd ever imagined. How long have you been going behind my back? More importantly, why, Norman? Whoever had killed Rachel had probably gone after you too. Maybe they knew about you, what you were up to. I would never know peace, Norman. But despite your transgression, a part of me really hoped that you would. When I had marched through the rain towards home, I desperately clung to the hope that this would end. And I guess in a way it did. But how could I have known how hopeless it all was? I had started to feel as disoriented as when I sleepwalked, to think of it now. I guess I should have known from the terrible silence that greeted me when I first stepped into our house, and the kitchen stood there in the kitchen. There was no sound of television, radio, even the air was still. But seeing Rachel there lying ruined and discarded in the basement, that was the horror I could never imagine. I didn't know if I would ever find the answers I craved, but I knew that somehow that the other man I found was responsible for this. If not directly, he must have had a hand in Rachel's death. So what was I doing in that damn house of his? Had I found out? Had I killed him? My damned condition made it difficult to know. Memories and time frames were always a mess, and I could never be sure. Knowing that man was dead, though, was a cold comfort. My wife was gone, and no matter what happened to me now, I was lost forever. I put the knife down and drew a long, warm bath. Slipping into the tub, I was surprised with how calm I felt. I I heard it was going to be like going to sleep if we did it right. So I held my arm under the water and made the incisions. Dude, the incisions stung. Came as a shock. It was only a matter of minutes before I felt myself ebb and fade. After that, the room washed into a comforting shade of gray. Whoa, that was a hell of an ending. I'm gonna assume there's at least two. Obviously, there's multiple endings. Obviously. But I'm gonna assume that there's at least two endings. The ending where I leave through the front door, and the ending where I go into the bathroom and bring an end to the story. But I want to thank everybody who do stop by. This was home. As you can see, a unique horror adventure. I hope y'all enjoyed the dark stream. It's the first of many horror games to come. If you did, feel free to subscribe to the channel for to be updated on future streams, and it helps out the channel. It helps out the channel a lot. But I hope y'all enjoyed the rest of your day and night, depending on when you watch this, and I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Ciao.